You guys seen Grayson Waller? Huh? You got that Dusty Cup later? Kick ass, man. Somebody hit my music.
Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
money.
Let's get to the
money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday they can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty keg of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-Prop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
And here we go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Balking Dead, where there is no sleep for the wicked. It is Thursday and what may be the smallest slate of the year. No worries. We got us a packed show as we will start the day with Jack of the Day with Connor Mack, and then we will finish the day with a special Thursday edition of Ribeyes with Mike. As you should know by now, this show is sponsored by Bibee. It's a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. By scanning that QR code on screen, you're going to get yourself 10% off your first order by using the best promo code in the God's green earth, and that's Pub Sports. As you know, Wednesdays and Thursdays, we do start the show off with a bang. Some may say a blast, but on this show, we like to call it Jack of the Day with Connor Mack.
Well, see you later.
What up, though? Hope everything's well, and know you had to rush something to get here, so you still got a packed slate as you do have some bets in, and I'm ready to talk baseball if you're ready to talk, but I don't know how yesterday went as I was so pissed off kicking shit and was crying about my own problems, but
yeah, it didn't go good for me, but I think if you listen to the show and listen to you, Sharpie, but I went with the guy with the better numbers, but Bregman went deep. You know,
yeah,
Bellinger
I do know
did.
Bregman went deep in Bellinger because two people were like, thank you, bro. And I was like, I didn't bet the shit. Fucking thank me. Thanks.
It's a little bit of Bellinger, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, these are home run props we're fucking with. So I went kind of with the numbers there, but it is what it is. I'm ready to roll today. Let's get it.
I was just glad to hit the juice that I paid up for Lance Lynn's 2 earned runs yesterday because I was like, is this dude really just going to – they had every opportunity to score, and then they didn't. So, yeah.
But everything's back, Sharpie. My sides and totals is, like, back to normal. Another day, undefeated. So, I was hating baseball there for a little bit by the break. Not my props. They were kind of hitting, but, you know, just overall. But everything's kind of cruising back. So
yeah. Shout out to the chat, guys. Smash the like button if you haven't already. And Connor got some plays in every which way of the games to talk about. Granted, we have 3 games to talk about today, so let's get on to the first one in a divisional matchups. And we knew the Nationals were going to be going the wrong way all year, but so are the New York Mets. So we got Kodai Senga on the bump versus Josiah Gray. I would think you're going to pick on Josiah, but I may be wrong. Who you looking at here?
Yeah, I'm not going to pick on.
I'm wrong.
I go opposite, man. Yeah, not that I think Josiah Gray, there are guys to pick. It's a little bit like Lindor. He's like 0 for 8, not a crazy sample size. I think this game could get runs. I'm interested how these, which you'll get into, Sharpie. I mean, do we get kind of an under? Senga's been great. Gray's been great on the road, or do we get runs? This total's a little high at 9, wind blowing out. But McNeil has good numbers. Nemo has good numbers. So you can look that way. But Nats have been scoring runs. I've been cashing their team totals like crazy the last couple of weeks. And a couple of them were lucky there with the Rockies. And I didn't even have them yesterday when they came back and won 5-4. But Jamer Candelario, the man in the 3-hole here, he's been an RBI machine. And if he continues, I'm waiting on the lineup here, Sharpie. I haven't got it. I got the Mets.
No, it's not out yet. It's not out yet. I'm waiting.
I don't have it either,
well.
but I think he's going to be in the 3-hole. Ex-Tiger. There you go. Shout out to Big Show. Shout out to Big Show. Having a baby boy to my guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, my man, in the back.
Jamer's the man, too. Jamer's the man, too.
He's been money for me. I like to go back to guys that have been great. You know, Lane Thomas has been pretty good as well for me. But his RBI is plus 210. I'm on. I'm just on it. He's at RBIs in 4 of 5, 3 straight. Seen it well. So I'm on that. And then I took a little bit of his jack, plus 650. Kodai Senga has been pretty good, but I'm just taking this here. I think I got to take it. That's a price.
Yeah. Speaking of those two guys that you mentioned that's been good to you, those are the two guys I got not striking out to Kodai for sure today. Like, I mean, I went heavy into these 3 games today. So that's funny that you brought up those two guys, as they don't chase and they're very patient. They take first pitches way better than what league average is close to, and they look for their pitches. So those are definitely Candelario is definitely a good look. As I crossed him out for no strikeouts today. So, yeah, let's get right into the next game, as there's some good plus money right there he just gave you. And there's always plus money when you're fucking around with the home run game. But, yeah, we're going to talk about the Cardinals and the Cubs, another divisional matchup. And who you picking on here?
Let's get to it. Both sides here have seen each other. Like, Steele is, I think, his 4th start. You can get into this later. I think Ian Happ, Bellinger, these guys are hot. Stick with them. Nico Horner as well. I think he's 9 for 22. No extra base hits. But, his over 1.5, or he'd have to take his 2 hits to finally get good plus money. That's on you. I don't mind it. But I'm going to the Cardinals here. There's 2 guys I take for the most part. I took it a little bit. O'Neill, Jack, or even Walker. The rookie's been decent. Maybe even Contreras, who is in the 4-hole, but it's Goldschmidt and Arenado. These guys have just been money for me. If you watch this show, you know that. I've used them both, and I like them both here. Arenado sat yesterday. I wanted to take him maybe even yesterday. Sharpie, he just a regular day off, and he was, before that, red hot. He finally, I think he had like an 8 or 9 game hitting streak that was snapped. They gave him the day off. His props are a little bit down here, but I'm going to go with Goldschmidt, because I got plus 500 on his home run. 5 for 16 with a homer off Steele. He sees lefties really, really well, and I like it. I'm trying to find a better number. His RBI's okay. I just wish, I don't mind him in the 2-hole. I just wish he 3 or 4, maybe a little bit better for the Bibee. It's decent, plus 165, 170. But I haven't played that yet, whether I want to go RBI over 1.5, because I'm only getting plus 105.
Yeah, I was definitely one thing I always have talked about last year and going back when I was doing the hitting part of this is Paul Goldschmidt versus a lefty career. Talking about career MLB, guys. Career history here. The best hitter OPS-wise versus a left-handed pitcher with guys like Frank Thomas and Manny Ramirez underneath him. So, you got to play him versus a lefty the whole year, the whole season. It is a very profitable bet. And,
in that series against the Cards, he was in a little bit of kind of a, not to say it's slump, but a little power. And Arenado had hit a few. That series, he hit 2 in that 3-game series versus the
That's one thing I've always
Arizona.
done too when I did play a Goldschmidt home run was always back it with the Arenado because I would learn that if Goldie didn't get it, it would be the fuck behind him, bro. Be
Yeah.
like, you
Hey,
bastard.
his number is just so low today. Like it's
I can't believe
plus
we're getting plus
310.
500 on Paul Goldschmidt versus a
Yep.
lefty, bro. I
Yeah,
don't give a
it's
damn
automatic.
what lefty it is, bro. This is, yeah, like I said, the best hitter power-wise when it comes to lefties in the history of the freaking game. So let's head on into another game, which is the last game of the day since there's only 3 games. And God, I love a pitcher in this spot. And that's Tanner Bibee versus Dylan Cease and the Guardians and the White Sox. And we got sellers and a team that probably won't sell, but fuck, they're just hovering. So who you looking at here?
Man, I can't wait for you to talk about these pitchers. Bibee's been really good. Cease too. I mean, for his his ERA is 4. The other day, White Sox, at first 5 they're up 2-1. He leaves, they lose versus the Twins. And I think he could be all right here. I'm rolling with a hot hitter though. And when I want these guys, they're just hit in bunches. And he's not crazy here versus Cease, but and Cease might only give up a couple, strike out a few. But Jose Ramirez, professional hitter, I want him here. RBI plus 145, and I put a little on his jack because I found plus 460 here at William Hill. But a lot of places it's around 4-1. That's up to you. So if you can get over 4-1, take it. A couple jacks yesterday. I think he hits them in bunches. I got to take him. So I'm on it.
Bro, Jose Ramirez, as soon as you said he's hot, I was already typing out Jose's name. I was like, yep, Jose Ramirez, man. Golly, that dude's the most underrated player in the game, bro. Like, straight up. Like, the most underrated.
Consistent.
And it's because he's on the Cleveland Guardians, and it is what it is. But if you are showing up for the recap of Jack of the Day bets with C-Mac, do me a favor and smash that like button, as it does help us a lot. You're going to start the day off with Jeimer Candelario of the Washington Nationals with an RBI of plus 210, and then he sprinkled his jack at plus 650. Then he's going to head into the Cubs and Cardinals game to the best hitter in the history of baseball, OPS-wise, versus a lefty, and which is, I don't understand, which I'm going to have to go bet as well, a home run bet at plus 500 for Paul Goldschmidt. Yeah. Then he's going to head into the hottest hitter of the Cleveland Guardians and what may be the hottest hitter in the American League, and that's Jose Ramirez. Jose, can you see? Hell yeah, he can see, and he's taking that RBI plus 145, and then he sprinkled the jacket plus 460 as he did shop around, and if you are wanting to take it, just make sure you follow C-Max Rolls. Has never been a home run prop below 4-1, as you need the odds in your favor.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Candelario, here we go, Sean V. Do what you want. He's been all right. 2 hits, 1. I want his RBI. He seems to just be getting that lately. So fade me all you want. I'm on it.
He said, fade me all you want. I'm on it. Yeah. So let's get it, dude. I appreciate you for showing up. Let these fine people know what you got going on and where they can find you.
Thanks for having me on. As always, I'll try to make it. And I should. Just Connor Mac Picks. Check me out here, Pub Sports Radio. You know the deal. Get into your pitcher props. I appreciate you for having me on. Oh, check me out. My normal Thursday. Want a little NFL, college football talk as we're at, and MLB a little bit. I'll be on the radio, Sports Map Radio, my normal spot, 8:30 Eastern. Check me out. Appreciate it.
Let's go. Football's back, baby. Yes.
Well, see you later.
I was doing it myself. On this show, guys, we will talk the opening line on a player's K prop, and then we're going to head in. Then we'll check the best line available 30 minutes prior to the show, and then we will compare them always what PrizePicks has to offer. If you haven't already, do us a favor and smash that like button, as it does help people find out about the best prop show on God's green earth. As well, as you should know, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code Pub Sports, and you will get a match deposit of $100, minimum of $25 on your first deposit. We've got 3 guys, and I did some deep mother trucking diving, so let's get right into it before we bring another guy on to talk a little more hitting on this small slate of a Thursday. Kodai Senga versus the Nationals. He's striking people out this year at a 29.7% clip, while walking people 11.3% of the time. Morning line was 6+ minus 138 on FanDuel, where the best line available was now is at minus 155 to that over 5.5, and that's still on FanDuel. PrizePicks has them at a flat 6, where the projected lineups, as it is still not out, is 6 lefties and 3 righties. Home this year, he's got an 11.8K per 9, while on the road, he's got a 10.9. Lefties, he's dominating with an 11.7K per 9, and he's still got an elite 11.1 versus the right-handed side, and we are projected a 6 lefty lineup. If you tuned into my channel last night on YouTube at Sharpie710, I did a little video with what I thought all the K-prop lines was going to look at and how they would open up. And I was tits on all of them. So let's talk this 5.5 on Kodai Senga, as it's on its way to being a 6.5, as minus 155 is actually past the threshold that what I'd be willing to pay. So let's talk why I knew it was going to open at 5.5 with some heavy juice. It's not a trap, even though Senga has hit the over 5.5 80% of his last 10 games, and the over 5.5 14 of 18 games. Yeah, wow. But it's not a trap. And I'm telling you guys, I knew it would be a 5.5, and it was juice. So we know Sharpie has a no-fly zones. We have plenty of no-fly zones. Well, the books also have that as well. And that's how I adjust my K-prop lines, is by knowing by which teams they adjust it with, because the teams I want nothing to do with more often than not. And the Nats are actually one of those teams on my no-fly zones. Just look at the numbers over the last 15 days, as the only thing they're not doing is walking at a measly 5.6%, but yet they're hitting the ball with an elite team, 176 isolated power, and they're not striking out. They're bottom 3 in the league last 15 days at less than 19%, and bottom 2 on the year next to our other no-fly zone, the Cleveland Guardians. And they're right above those bitch-ass Mets versus a right-handed pitcher. So, yeah, their MO is what their MO's been all year. They're a very good contact hitting team, and they don't strike out often. They're not a good team. Okay, I'm not saying that. We're here to talk props. And if you're running strikeout props versus the Nationals with righties every damn day of the week, you are a losing bettor. So let's get right into it. And why I actually may like this guy. They don't strike out, huh? They struck out first time versus Kodai when they seen his ghost fork, when he went 5 innings, 7 strikeouts back on April 26th. When the lineup numbers say the same, the walk percentage was trash, the strikeout percentage was good, but it says they're hitting the ball now when they weren't hitting the ball back in April. So let's go see who they have been hitting, and let's look at some right-handed pitchers that we would bet on. And they played nobody in their right given mind. The Rockies, the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Cubbies do not have a right-handed pitcher that I myself would go bet on. So I'm not going to say that their strikeout numbers are fraudulent, because they are a very elite team when it comes to that. I'm going to say their hitting numbers are a tad bit fraudulent, but no way in hell would I ever say their strikeout percentage is a fraud. As like I said, I've had them on my no-fly zone way more than just this year, guys. This is going back over the last few seasons that they've had this MO. So why do I like Senga today, and why am I wanting to look at him? As they're not walking right now, and if I get a lineup that's not walking, that's always a plus for Senga. They got a 6.5%. And that's the first of my 3 reasons of why I'm looking at playing Senga, and why I need a lineup as well. So you don't want to walk versus Senga? That's not a good thing. Let me tell you that, because, you don't want to walk. He going to put you down. Now, the second part of this, guys, is why? What? Huh? This is the second time seeing this guy. which the first time is the advantage of seeing him. And now the second time seeing him, the books still respect the Nationals as if he doesn't have a huge past history. Now, if he goes out and does this again, he will no longer get, the Nationals will no longer get the respect from the books when it comes to Senga. The lines will start adjusting towards Senga's way. So this can be the very last 5.5 when going up against a no-fly zone, as he's done the damn thing when you've looked at it a few times. So if I get the lineup that they are projecting, the third reason why, guys, is the Nationals chase. You don't want to freaking chase. They are top 5 in chase percentage and just middle of the pack in edge percentage, and that's making contact while chasing. And they're still over 2% worse than league average at swinging at first pitches. So there's definitely a perfect storm brewing for Kodai. When you swing at the first pitch and you chase, oh boy, this can add up, and that can be the reasoning why this man had 7 strikeouts versus the no-fly zone earlier. So give me the lineup that's not walking like they're projecting. Give me the lineup with the chase that they have right now, as the chase as in this lineup is nothing to write home about, guys. Nothing to write home about. So I will be getting involved if the situation gives me that. And I will be also putting only a half unit on it and taking them to not to the juice part, as this is a hold my beer situation. And I just ain't been hot enough to be paying minus 150, 55 juices for a hold my beer situation. Now, who I will pay some freaking juice for, and yeah, Team Sharpie got in last night. And for those that didn't get in, I'm still going to tell you, guess what? We still going to eat, guys. Do you know why we going to eat? Because we eat on this show, guys. We eat on this show. We're going to talk about some Tanner Bibee at the Cleveland Guardians. Yeah. But before we do, we got 50 live, 22 likes. Smash that damn like button. Come on, man. I'm about to give you a bet and about 2 hours worth of work packed into about 5 minutes worth of yelling down. So smack that like where we talk Tanner Bibee at the White Sox while he's striking people out at a 24.6% clip on the year, while walking people 8.4% of the time. Morning line was 6+, over 5.5, minus 140 on FanDuel. Everywhere else was over 6.5 at plus 120. And that's where he's at now. There is no more 5.5s on the board. There are 6.5s at that good plus money. PrizePicks has him at a flat 6, where the projected lineup is 5 righties, 4 lefties, as yeah, he gonna do the damn thing no matter what they want to do. But please give us this lineup and let's talk about it. Next guy on the board, and it's my favorite spot on the board, and this is Tanner Bibee at the White Sox, which if we look at the overall numbers of the last 15 days of these White Sox, it says we can and have been picking on them when given the opportunity, as they're not walking at a disgusting 4.9%. Second worst team in the league when it comes to isolated power, and they're striking out 25% of the time. Well. Another spot we talked about on this on the line show I did on my channel last night, saying it's going to open up at a 6.5 plus money, or we may get that 5.5 minus 140 to a minus 150. And no books wanted to drop this guy last night, as the time I went to sleep at midnight Pacific time, only Caesars had him available at 6.5 at even money. Well, I woke up at 5 a.m. and FanDuel wanted some of that over action, as they were the only one out there with that 5.5. And that's where Team Sharpie got in. And I get it, guys. It's gone. But the same thing I told Team Sharpie, guys, for the ones that didn't have legal books at the time. And take that 6.5 for a half unit at plus money. And once the lineups come out, if we get the exact lineup they are projecting, we will have no problem going a full unit at that plus money. And we'll actually look to ladder this man if they give me the lineup that they expect, because I do expect a career day coming from Tanner Bibee today. We do have a perfect storm brewing, and let's talk about it. Why I see this man having a day. It's what the White Sox bring to the table, guys, not just their numbers I just read. We know they are a top 5 whip and a top 5 chase percentage team in the league. So let's just go look at Tanner Bibee, guys. And yeah, woof. Let's see how he's done versus these type of teams. And other than one bad game, let's go look and see how he's done. Because he did have one bad game, as he did shit the bed on me. And he has faced, let's check it out. Let's go look at the top 6 teams in chase percentage that Tanner Bibee has seen. And he shit the bed, like I said, in one game versus the Royals, while getting 8 strikeouts in the other 2 games that he faced in the 3 teams he's faced in the top 6 whiff percentage. Now let's go look at Tanner Bibee has done versus teams that chase. And he's got himself 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Averaging 7.2 strikeouts a game if we take out the one game where he shit the bed. Now, when we look at the teams that have top 5 whiff and chase percentages, like the White Sox have today, and the White Sox are bringing in a strikeout percentage number to it next to those whiff and chase percentage line. If Tanner Bibee goes 6 today, he's getting 7 strikeouts in his sleep, as this team right now is 5% worse than league average when it comes to chase percentage when we look at a lineup, and it's 2.5 percentage worse when it comes down to whiff percentage. So he's faced 2 teams in these categories. He's had himself 8 each day, and all things aligned for Tanner Bibee to go out there and slay these boys. So at the moment, get in for a half unit. If the lineup matches, get in for a full, as Tanner Bibee also has the key that I look to run versus these White Sox. All that says yay, yay, yay. Then you add in what this dude has, and he has that key, which is high velocity, guys. Any guy with high velocity has dominated the Chicago White Sox team this year. Tanner Bibee throws his fastball damn near 50% of the time with over 95 miles per hour velo to it. So, yeah, Tanner Bibee, guys, to the moon and back as we plan to eat. Tigers come out with their lineup before the other 2 lineups I'm waiting on. How crap ass is that? So, that's the way the cookie crumbles. We got 50 live, 26 live. It's all right, I guess. I just won't even ask for likes since they won't come no more. I'll just not tweet out my bets then. Y'all can go check out the notification. You guys can check your what is it called? The lineups yourself and do it from there, as I'll give you the breakdowns and tell you how I'll bet it. But I ask for likes and don't get them. That's fine. Last guy on the board, number 10, Dylan Cease versus the Cardinals, striking people out at a 28% clip while walking people 9.6% of the time. Opened them up over 5.5, minus 105 on DK, where that best line available is at plus money on FanDuel. PrizePicks has him at a 5.5, whereas hits allowed under or over are at a 4.5. Projected lineup is 7 lefties and 2 righties for your Cleveland Guardians. The other side of this matchup is Dylan Cease versus the no-fly zone Guardians. And once again, last night when I did the video of setting the K-prop lines before the books came out with their own, I said we're getting a very bettable 5.5, and it's not a trap. And what I mean by that, guys, is the books need to have action on both sides. They just do not want one-way action all the time. As, yes, sometimes they do, but no. You would get nothing but under money if you put this man at a 6.5 versus the Cleveland Guardians. It's a no-fly zone. They know what I know, what you know, guys. Over the last few years, this is the best team in the league at not striking out. And we go back through Cease's part, guys, in the Black Book. If we just go look at his last 10 games, Cease has only been a 5.5 3 times. Oh, that's in his last 11 games. And 2 of them are no-fly zones, with the other one being the Marlins, as the books do respect the Marlins with Luis Arias leading off. And they have been adjusting everyone when someone faces the Fishes at least 40 cents to a whole number, if that will move them that way. So the Marlins fell under that 5.5 strictly because of the Luis Arias tax. And like I said, knowing how the book set their lines is half the battle. There are certain guys that you can adjust a line with, guys, and Luis Arias is one of them. So who were the other 2 no-fly zones that he faced in the last 11 days where they put him at a 5.5? The Cleveland Guardians, where only got 3, and then the Los Angeles Dodgers, where we were on him that day, and he went out and got us a 10-pack. But he also has the key, which is high velocity, that we use when we are going up against the Dodgers. Now, he did only get 3 strikeouts versus the Guardians on a back-to-back versus but he only had 3 in the first game, guys. So, yeah, not surprised that the books are going to give us a 5.5. So, let's look at these guys' numbers over the last 15 days because it says these Cleveland Guardians are stroking the ball. And who would we bet on that they have seen in the last 15 days? They've only seen 3 guys that I would legitimately want to go put my my money on. And they got to our boy, Mitch Keller. But if you look back through Mitch Keller's last 5 games, lefties are hitting like above 6 ERA, over 400. And we just talked about how the Cleveland Guardians run out 7 lefties. So I get it. No harm, no foul. It's something that, yes, he strikes out lefties more, Mitch Keller, but he's having an issue with guys because he throws it down the dick of the plate. And if you don't whiff, híjole chingalo way, you going to hit that boy. And you ain't whipping with the Cleveland Guardians. Now, you can get them to chase. You ain't going to get them to whiff. Now, who have they faced that other than Mitch Keller, which explains why he got hit as he's having an issue with lefties right now. They saw Wheeler and Nola, who both went 7 innings, giving up less than 3 earned runs, while they both had, or no, Wheeler had himself 8 strikeouts, while Nola backed it up the next day with 7 himself. So I get it. It's either over or nothing here. I don't give a damn if it's freaking the no-fly zone, but I am not hot enough at the moment to run up against the Cleveland Guardians and the Washington Nationals on the same day. But if you want to get in, I get it. My problem is the variance for this man is just way too big, as he could end up with 5 to 10 strikeouts on. If he's on, he's on. Good pitching beats good hitting, as it just showed with the Wheeler and Nola versus this team. But if he's not throwing strikes, he's going to have an issue. Now, the projected Cleveland Guardians lineup is not walking. They're only walking 7.5%. That will favor this man right here, but he needs to get in some first pitch strikes because this team will chase. And it's either over or nothing for me here, guys. Like I said, I just have not been hot enough to do this hold my beer spots. For those showing up for the recap, do us a favor and smash that like button, as it does help those find the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. With today being the smallest slate of the year, we only have 1 bet in as of now, and that's a full unit bet on Tanner Bibee of the Cleveland Guardians over 5.5 at -140. And that's done and gone. It's goodbye, guys. So I get it. Is what it is. I still told the guys with Team Sharpie who don't have legal books and couldn't get in last night, go put a half unit on that 6.5 plus money. And if we get the projected lineups that they are projecting, we will turn that half into a full and look for a ladder spot in this situation. For if Tanner Bibee goes 6 innings today, he should have a career day. Senga is a hold my beer spot. If he gets the projected lineup that he should be getting, then I may be willing to get in, and I will get in if we get the projected lineup. I just will not pay the juice they have on the 5.5, as I will take him up for a half unit type bet, as it is a hold my beer situation. Dylan Cease is also in a hold my beer situation, as he's going up against the Cleveland Guardians, and I get it. And it's not a trap at that 5.5. That the books need action to the over, as well as the Guardians are the best team in the league at making contact and not striking out, not just the last 15 days, not just this year alone. It's going back the last few seasons. So I just let it be, but it is over or nothing, as if Dylan ceases on. This man can have you a nice little ladder day, as the number's low for a reason, and it's not a trap. With it being a small card, we did have to make a call to the bullpen and bring in the damn closer. He don't eat salmon, guys. This man eats ribeyes. Give this man a freaking steak.
I didn't want salmon. I said it 4 times. Wedding is horseshit.
And steak we ate the last day, Sharpie. I'm happy to be back, man. Happy Thursday. Let's go.
Steak is beyond what we ate, brother, man. They ate filet mignon. They ate a freaking porterhouse. They weren't eating no freaking beef shake steak biffs, as this man swept the card. went 3 for 3, put over 4.5 units into your pocket, closer to the 5, but we'll just round it down. But yeah, this man has a packed card, so let's just get right to it, Mike. We'll do your exit stuff and all that good shit on the way out, as we will exit together since we're finishing together. There's only freaking 3 guys in the black book today, and yeah, that's fine. We brought in 2 guys to talk hitting props, and he's going to start this day off, guys, with a 4-piece McGick. So let's get to it. First game of the day is going to be in the doubleheader, the second game of the Angels and the Tigers, and it's not Ohtani who this man is looking at. Tell these men who you were looking at.
Yeah, so I rolled out here with our guy, Andy Ibanez. Ibanez, I think is how you pronounce it. But from a bat on ball perspective here, he sat the first game. So kind of expected for some of the numbers that I ran, it was going to be a LA Angels spot. We saw Zach Neto in the lineup. We know what happens when Neto's in the lineup. Ohtani was pitching against Lorenzen, and it just lined up very nicely. But they did not have Andy in the lineup. And, I did a little research on Andy. His last week, his OPS numbers are .824. 0.297 hitting percentage, and he's got a home run. So they sat him, they rested him in a position where we've got what I suspect to be a somewhat depleted outfield for this Los Angeles Angels spot. The Angels winning the first game puts it in a great spot for Detroit to come in with that zigzag theory, if you subscribe to that rationale. And the 7 hole that he's in right now is behind Javier Baez, Verling, Kerry Carpenter, Torkelson, and Riley Green. All these guys that are in front of him can either bang it out of the field or they can get themselves on base and put themselves in a position for a guy that I really like at a plus 200. He's really graded high and off the charts for me as far as production today. Again, 7 hole, Andy Ibanez, plus 200 RBI is how we're going to start this card out.
Ibanez.
Okay.
Roll your tongue. Banez.
I can't roll my tongue.
This is the shit Noli would tell me, bro. I'm just giving you shit, bro. Noli corrects my Spanish language, and I do appreciate.
How about he hits an RB fucking I for us? Let's go.
Yeah. RB Izzle. Do you understand that, fucking Ibanez? Huh? Get your bat out, Bonnie. And let's get into that second game of the day, guys. And he's going to come at you both sides of the plate with this. He ain't going to fuck around. He going to be like, I'm going to give you a little here. I'm going to give you a little there. And we talking about that Cubs and Cardinals game. Talk to these fellas.
Yeah, so if you look at the weather on this game, it is hot as an MFer out there. They're saying it's going to feel like 110 degrees. It's got to feel like the inside of a dryer machine in a unbelievably hot day. And it's just going to be hot on top of hot, which I think leads to an opportunity for, run production today. This is a game that I've got graded pretty highly in terms of offensive output. And while it's a short card and we've got 4 RBI spots, I like to look on both sides of the fence here. First I'll start with Miles Mikolas and what he's been doing and what he hasn't been doing here. His last game, he let up 5 earned runs and short performance. He's got 2 games this year versus the Cubs. He's only gone 9.1 innings versus the Cubs. So it's a team where there's a ton of familiarity. We've got a ton of familiarity going up against a guy that's got a ton of production against the St. Louis Cardinals spot in Dansby Swanson. So give me Dansby Swanson. His RBI number is plus 155. Who knew? Dansby Swanson's got 8 RBIs in a row against the St. Louis Cardinals. So in this situation here, he's hitting a .316 against Mikolas as well. And I love the spot for this guy here, Dansby Swanson on the Cubs side of the house. And as I pivot over, I'm going to go to our guy, Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt here against Justin Steele. Probably one of the most productive guys in the league against Justin Steele. He's got 16 at-bats. He's got 5 hits. He's got a dong, and he's got 3 RBIs, hitting a .313 against Justin Steele. Here's a number that's plus 170. Plus 170. The guy's got 5 multi-hit games in a row. So this is a situation where I expect production. He's got Brandon Donovan in front of him. He's in the top of the order, which to me means he's going to see 4+ opportunities at the bat there. So if we get him to 5 and he's got 5 multi-hit games in a row, I expect one of those things to get out of there for us, whether it be a home run, which I think is a high likelihood, but I'm going to stick with that RBI at plus 170 for Paul Goldschmidt. Give me Swanson plus 155 and Goldschmidt plus 170.
And I don't know if you were here at the early. I mean, but C-Mac is also on his home run as well at plus 550. And we talked about how Paul Goldschmidt versus a lefty in the history of baseball, it has the career high OPS with Manny Ramirez and Frank Thomas under him. This is stupid value on a guy who is the best hitter in the history of baseball versus lefties. Like, and it's hot. All these hot games have been flying over, man. And Jesus, let's just keep firing away because we're going to head into the last game of the day for your last play of the day. And he could strike out one time and you can get your RBI and I won't be mad. And we're talking about the Cleveland Guardians at the White Sox. Who you got?
So it sounds like you like Tannen today, and rightfully so. The guy's been a machine. And, you know, in this case here, I had to go. You talked about value with Paul Goldschmidt, and I'm going to bring this day home with some value in Timmy Anderson. Timmy Anderson at plus 210 is the RBI number I picked up. He's got 5 for 5 his last 5 games with hits, or his last 5 hits, 8 for 10, 9 for 11. And, you know, here's a little kind of a unique situation where Eloy, you know, his brother in the black and white stripes, is in the 4 spot. And everybody knows what Eli's doing and so on and so forth. But I think from an Eli perspective, these two guys in my book are projected the same. So I can get Eloy at plus 130, or I can go Timmy Anderson at plus 210. Well, guess what? I think Eloy's kind of at the top of his game, and I think Timmy's just kind of getting back up. Let's not forget, just a month ago, Tim Anderson came back from an injury. He's had 2 injury-nagged seasons. Before that, he was a superstar, all-star, all McDonald's, front of the Mickey D's bag type of guy. And I think in this position today, at plus 210, when I have him projected the same as a guy that's been known to produce, we know guys play back to the back of their baseball card. And I don't see why Tim Anderson can't do just that today. So plus 210, the value on these 4 spots today, to me, makes a ton of sense. We've got some great opportunities to strike and score. It's a short card, but I wanted to get creative and try to have some fun and not just kind of go with the sides. And I've got a couple side looks, too, that we'll talk about later on today on different shows. But I think from our spots today in terms of the card and where we can score, I think we've got some nice spots lined up. So that even as spot starts in just about 15, 20 minutes with that LA Angels Detroit Tigers game. Let's get that cash, Sharpie.
If it correlates with anything for you, I mean, Benintendi's going to be the hardest guy to strike out, and then Vaughn and Anderson are the next 2, where everybody else is just a goddamn walking strikeout in that Chicago White Sox lineup. So that, I mean, I just look at that. It's going to be tough, and he's a fastball hitter. You're going to get 50% fastball from Bibee.
His last couple of games have been, again, on the upswing, and I think it's a guy here where he's coming back from that injury. It's about 4 weeks deep from the injury that he had that kept him out for, what was it, like 2 months? So, you know, here's a guy that's going to play better. He's going to get stronger. He's showing in the numbers, if you look at his last 2 weeks' performance, that he is getting that stronger. And while I do think this is a potential tougher scoring game today, there's a guys that I like up and down both sides of the lineup, and I just think the value for Tim Anderson's way too high to pass up.
Hey, man, solo shots are good for freaking keeping a guy out there, bro. And let's get to it real quick. Mike has a 4-pack that he loves today, and he's like, I love these small cards, Sharpie, because I get to freaking scrub. And if you don't know, this man's coming off a sweep on Tuesday with a 3-pack that he blessed us with over 4.5 units on just 3 bets, guys. Yeah, that's big boy shit, guys. So he's going to start his day in the doubleheader that's about to start soon. And no, not Goat Tani, guys, but the second baseman of the Detroit Tigers, Andy Ibanez, RBI at plus 200. Then he's going to head on over with a 2-pack in the same game, but we're going to take one on each side, and he's going to start with Paul Goldschmidt, RBI plus 170. That also correlates with Connor Mack's home run that he talked about earlier in the plus 500s, as this is the greatest power hitter the baseball has ever seen OPS-wise, and that's just not me talking about my neck. Then he's going to jump on over, guys, and take some Dansby Swanson RBI at plus 155, as way too much value, as that's been a key word today, as this guy's hitting middle of a lineup of some guys that are just humming and hoeing. It's 100 and something degrees outside, and yeah, there's going to be some freaking runs. So he's going to finish his day with Tim Anderson of the Chicago White Sox, our generation's Jackie Robinson's RBI for plus 210. Mike, always a pleasure, and I appreciate you showing up when I call you in at the last second. But you're really good at what you do, and I do know the chat appreciates you as well. Tell them where they can find you, and this is where you plug where you're going to be talking about your other shows. You're allowed to.
That's all good, man. I'm here to support you, my guy. When you call me in, I appreciate the opportunity.
But then now we got to let people follow you because, dude, you're good at what you do. You track everything. You're very transparent. Even if you have a losing play going, you keep rolling, you keep riding, you don't fucking change the play, you don't do nothing, bro. You're as transparent as they come, and that's all you can ask for in this gambling world, bro. So yeah. Period. Tell them where they can find you and what you got going on.
I always love coming in to have an opportunity to chat it up with you and try to find some spots that we can make that cash on. So I appreciate the opportunity. PimpSlapPod on Twitter. I'm in and on and around Pub Sports Radio, various components, chats, and sharing some feedback and knowledge where I can find it.
You got a show you're now doing on Tuesdays, right? Plug your show.
Yeah, so on Tuesdays, I'm part of the crew with the boys over at Who Bangin'. You know, we got a 7 p.m. start at Who Bangin', so they asked me to come in there and figured, you know what, I hang out with a bunch of these dudes off stream. I might as well get together with them on stream and see if we can put our heads together to make that cash. So you like what you do. It's having fun hanging out with your guys, and we're making money. We're having fun while we're doing it, and we kind of talk some smack to one another as well. So all factors I like to be a part of, and but here we are. We're only as good as today, and hopefully that gives us followers for tomorrow. So let's get that cash. You guys know the deal. As my bankroll rolls, I hope yours does too. Let's keep rolling,
bro. I think Lou Bacon just scored, bro, by getting you on some live streams. You may be one of the best live bettors. I know you have like the best live bet in the history of live bets, plus 1,700 or something like that you gave out. And yeah. It's gonna be good. So make sure you do turn in the mic, guys. As you already know, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there, use that promo code PubSports. You're gonna get a match deposit up to 100, minimum of 25 on your first deposit. Until next bets, our special guest today was Connor Mack Picks and Pimp Slap Play of the Day. This show's on Pub Sports Radio, produced by soon to be the best new father to a baby boy, Big Show Picks. Baseball gods, do us a solid one. Give us the lineups we're asking for so we can ladder and climb in honor of Big Show. Until next time, stay blessed, fellas.
Keep firing, assholes!
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email, pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you